So it's been a rough day. Um, no, I could sit here and rant and rave about how inept the administration is, but I think we all get that the administration's inept. At least thinking human beings recognize that. What I'd like to do, what I'm going to try to do, is tell you about the Marines. I wasn't a Marine. I was a corpsman. I served with the Marines. I was lucky enough to have been able to serve with the Marines. It was an honor. It really was. Working with those guys, learning from those guys, um, living with those guys, being friends with those guys. Those guys are my brothers, and it really was. It really was an honor to serve with them. Some of the best people I've ever met. I served in the Navy, I served in the Army, and I served with the Marines. And I have to say that Marines are unique, almost cult-like. Uh, they are dyed-in-the-wool killers. They are professionals. You know, I mean, you wouldn't know that from a night in the barracks, but you put these guys in the field and you give them a mission, you give a dog a bone, and the SEALs tighten. You know, they go from loud, rowdy, undisciplined skull breakers to high-speed, low-drag, Teflon-coated killing machines. You let them off the chain, they'll do a great job. That's what the Marines do. Absolutely fearless, professional to the nth degree when they're doing their job, when they got a mission. Now, I find it ironic that everything the Marines are seems to be everything this country doesn't like about men in general, right? Loud, aggressive, toxic masculinity, right? Testosterone fueled, the Chads of the military. They're everything that's wrong with the world in civilian clothes, but you need them in camis, don't you? You need them with a rifle. You need a sacrificial fucking offering. That's what you need to pay for your SSI and your WIC and your welfare and your EBT. Right? You need them. You don't really give a fuck about them. Most of you don't. Most of you couldn't name a single person that was killed in the war at all unless you knew him personally. In any of the wars. You don't care. Most of you don't. I think that's really what kind of chaps my ass. One of those things I'm really kind of sick of seeing. I'm really sick and tired of seeing senators crying, wiping away tears in front of the cameras. Presidents crying on the podium. I'm just so upset by this. Yeah. You're so upset, you're going to go right to your meeting as soon as you get off the podium, wipe the tears away, and ask your fucking team, how do you think that polled with African Americans? What about women? You don't give a fuck. You don't care. You know, you get Joe Biden gets up there on stage. You know what? Fuck it. I am going to go on a tangent. I didn't want to, but I'm fucking gonna. All right. You get Joe Biden gets up there on stage. All right, and talking like fucking talking at half a mile an hour. Right, trying to get the words out clearly. And he has to bring up Beau Biden. Right. I fucked up really bad, so feel bad for me. Here's my Beau Biden story. Here it comes again. Look at Beau Biden did not die in combat. Beau Biden was not killed by the ineptitude of his chain of command. These guys were. These guys were killed, Joe, by your ineptitude. Now, I think it's terrible your son died of brain cancer. And I think it's terrible that your other son's a crackhead who banged his missus after he died. I think all that's terrible. Okay, I wish that never happened to you. I wish your scumbag son wasn't a scumbag, and I wish your dead son was not dead. I truly do. But I'm sick and tired of you parading out the corpse of your son when you fuck up for sympathy points. I'm sick and tired of seeing men in the Congress, in the Senate, whatever, crying on stage for fucking boo-hoo points. You want me to throw you a fucking pity parade? I don't think so. I'm sick of it. We don't need men crying in government. Like these cops from fucking January 6th. These police officers experienced a riot, and they're crying in front of Congress. Crying. Grown men, tears, crying. What the fuck? We don't need crying bitch men. When you let crying bitch men run shit, this is the kind of stuff that happens. Because I got news for you. The world doesn't care. The world doesn't care if you're weak, if you're soft, if you're soft as baby poop. No one gives a fuck. Weakness invites aggression. And we've been displaying some weakness, and we've been receiving some aggression. This is what happens when reality creeps up behind you and clobbers the fuck out of you. Joe Biden should have never, ever been elected. Never. Shouldn't have been. Everyone knows that. But because, we had to stop the mean tweets, we had to get the one guy who half the world feared out of office because, we were worried about our partners around the world and how they looked at us. How are they looking at us now, by the way? Wasn't Joe Biden just basically redressed in the parliament by the British? An American president for the first time ever being held in contempt by the British parliament? Great job. Our allies must really trust us. Our enemies must really fear us. We need men. That's the problem. Instead, we have a bunch of fucking bitch men raised by women with no men in their lives crying on podiums. And we're working with the fucking Taliban. We are working with the Taliban. Some of these people, some of these same exact living, breathing human beings sheltered Al-Qaeda after 9/11. They're the same human beings. The same fucking people. And we get the federal government giving over names of Americans to the Taliban in Afghanistan so they can let them through checkpoints. Are you fucking kidding me? Meanwhile, our boys are over there fighting a war they shouldn't have to be fucking fighting. Fighting a fight that they shouldn't have anything to fucking do with because it should have been done a decade ago. But because we let suits make the rules for the wars instead of boots making the rules for the wars, we're still in the fucking wars. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Look if you're gonna fight a fucking war, you don't tiptoe through the fucking tulips with these people. You go over there, you smash their teeth right out the back of their fucking head, right? And then you leave. And you say, fuck with me again and I'll do it again. That's how war should be fought. People think General Sherman was a villain, right? General Sherman, right, Tecumseh Sherman, he understood how war should be fought. Look what he did in Georgia. It worked. The generals from World War II. Look at the Japanese were just like ISIS. They really were. And I'm not trying to knock Japanese people today, but they were. They worshipped their emperor as a god. They did suicide attacks. They cut people's fucking heads off. And that all ended with two bright flashes. And now they're the politest fucking people on earth, ain't they? Bottom line, guys, our young guys are going to pay for our failures. They're paying for it now. And it's disgusting. So I hope Joe Biden had a nice speech tonight, crying and talking about Bo and making empty threats. None of that's going to comfort the families of the fucking guys who are going to come home with fucking flags draped over their coffins. The same flags some of you faggots like to fucking burn by the fucking way. So many people, I'm telling you, you are wrapped so tightly in the blanket of freedom provided by guys like that that you have no idea how brutal and awful the world can really be. You have no fucking idea what a desperate parent does. You want to see a dangerous person? It's a desperate parent. It's a desperate parent looking at their kid thinking, I have to do something for my kid. That's a dangerous human being. It really is. We've dropped our guys right in the middle of that. And why? Why? Because Joe Biden had a deadline to meet. He didn't want to have to meet it, so he renegotiated the deal set forth by the previous president, right? Flew out the old leader of the Taliban from what, Qatar, with a plane full of fucking money, trying to avoid a fight because the last thing he wanted was any kind of a fight. Well, you got it now, don't you? Weakness invites aggression, you fucking pussy. You know what got those guys killed today? Joe Biden's ineptitude and the voters' ignorance. That's what got them killed. So congratulations.